Number one focus, this is skinny twig. This Ian Garry. This is our main focus, you know. This guy talk a lot, you know, and we have to focus on him because every opponent we fight, or Islam fight, or anyone fight, we have them take him seriously, even if they're not a serious guy. I don't think he's a serious man.
He does well with Islam on the stand-up because he's rangy, he's tricky, all those. But on the ground, he doesn't. He does okay, but he doesn't survive on the ground, I don't think. I mean, well, okay, he might survive 5 rounds, but he won't get the best of Islam on the ground.
Yeah, now I feel more comfortable, honestly. The first camp so hard. I just try to gain weight, do a lot of lifting program, but this camp I stay in the same weight, you know. I'm not like go down. Now I'm like real welterweight. And this camp, I think, is more easy. Who's the number one right now? Anderson Silva or myself? Because I already like not beat, but
you're tied. Yeah. So you both have 16.
16.
So you will be the only person with 17 with this one.
Yeah. I have to.
Yeah.
I never like follow these numbers, but it's like cool, you know, when you have longest win streak in UFC. Sounds so good, you know.
Every camp, he's just getting better, added more tools. He's in great shape, doesn't even breathe hard in the sparring. Like, you know, it's like, and he's getting put a lot of great fighter, you know. But he's the best I've seen him, honestly.
Islam's manager, Ali Abdelaziz, recently took aim at Ian Garry, dismissing him as more of a point-scoring competitor than a true combatant who relies heavily on footwork and fleeing from exchanges.
You know, he's a competitor. You know, I don't think he's a fighter. He's a competitor. It's a complete different. He's a guy like point karate, like to touch and move, touch and move, touch and move. You're almost training for him. You really have to like be a track star to catch him. You know, I'm not saying he's a bad fighter. I think he's a good fighter. He's an average fighter, and he's just hard to figure out because he runs a lot.
Elaborating on that, the manager explained that Makhachev's strategy centers on aggressively hunting Garry down to secure a definitive stoppage, rather than settling for a tactical decision victory.
He's gonna do what Islam wants him to do in a fight. Islam is gonna hunt him like a deer who's a hunter, who's a 50 caliber machine gun, and after that he's gonna put a bullet in his head, and he's gonna put him out. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna run like a deer, and he's fast. He can run. But when the last time we see him knock somebody out, you know, the last time he won a fight, he was running for his life against Parata when Parata started whooping on him.
Shifting gears, Islam's head coach Javier Mendez offered his take on the potential Makhachev versus Garry showdown, though he made sure to clarify that no deal has been finalized yet. He expressed strong conviction that Makhachev would utterly dominate on the canvas, suggesting Garry would struggle to survive once taken down.
I'm 100% sure about that. On the stand-up, he's pretty tricky. So one punch can change everything on that. One kick, one punch, one knee, you know, so that's a different story. But on the ground, I don't see him dominating. I see him surviving, possibly. So yeah, I could see that. And then the takedown defense that he has is decent, but not great enough to stop Islam from taking him down.
Building on those insights, attention turned to Makhachev himself, noting that he appears far more composed during this training camp compared to his previous outing, with plans to set a relentless pace aimed at finishing Garry early.
Take more risk to finish my opponents because I like it. Finish my opponents, you know. And this fight, I think, honestly, from the first time when I'm taking him down, I have chance to finish him because I saw his ground game. It's not so good, you know. He have good strikings, long reach, you know, long arm. He control the distance, always go back. But I see when I take him down, it's gonna be finish.
Taking a different view, Georges St. Pierre picked Makhachev to prevail at UFC 330, describing him as a tactical nightmare for virtually anyone in MMA, and crowning him as today's top pound-for-pound athlete. He believes the tactical matchup heavily favors Makhachev due to his multiple avenues to victory.
I think the odds, because of the style, favors Makhachev probably because of the the styles. I think Islam Makhachev have maybe more ways to win the fight. So if I'm just thinking rational, according to the odds, I think it favors Makhachev. But Ian Garry definitely has all the chance also on his side to do it. He's a very good striker. He's very long. He's a great grappler as well. But he need, I think, to find a way to keep the fight standing, and to use his style to his own advantage.
Offering another perspective, Robert Whittaker views Makhachev as the clear favorite. Though he acknowledges that Garry's height, jiu-jitsu skills, and elite striking present genuine obstacles that could potentially yield an upset. However, he ultimately backs Makhachev with absolute confidence, stating no current welterweight can stop him as he prepares for his first defense of the 170-pound title he captured from Jack Della Maddalena after vacating his lightweight crown.
Yeah, well, I think Islam would have to be a strong favorite, but I think Ian's going to give him some problems because Ian's a tall guy. He's got great jiu-jitsu. He's got great striking. Yeah, I think Ian Garry is going to give Islam a lot of problems.
Okay, but is that enough problems to defeat him, or do you think Islam still takes him?
Yeah, I think Ian Garry can win. I think he can walk away with it, to be honest.
Even though sports books and the general public lean heavily toward Islam Makhachev, Sean O'Malley is swimming against the tide. He is backing Ian Garry to pull off the shocker at UFC 330, arguing the challenger's physical reach, footwork, and unconventional striking style could expose the champion's weaknesses. O'Malley believes Makhachev has never shared the cage with someone offering Garry's blend of frame and creativity, noting that if Garry keeps it standing, it could prove a brutal night for the champ.
What do you guys think about this Ian Garry and Islam matchup? Ian Garry's gotten I think he got a lot of shit because he was like, women should run the world. You see that? People love
he said that
attack
for
wild.
That's out there.
Yeah, I mean that's a different perspective, but I don't really pay attention much to that. The fight itself, Dagestan versus Ireland for a title fight. Islam Makhachev playing pound for pound, best in the world versus Ian Garry coming up. Confident. Speaking of confidence, that's where I think Ian's best shot of winning this fight is coming in there with that confidence and taking away Islam's confidence by going out there not getting taken down in the first few rounds. And I'm excited for that fight. I think Ian Garry's going to get the job done.
Meanwhile, Israel Adesanya praised Makhachev's high-level feinting, admitting he was deeply impressed while studying his recent performance against Jack Della Maddalena. He pointed out specific sequences where Makhachev rattled off rapid-fire feints, constantly keeping his opponent off balance and guessing rather than relying solely on raw speed or brute force to open up angles.
Who in the UFC or other promotions does this the best current time?
In the UFC, you look at Islam versus JDM. I was very impressed with Islam's feinting. There was one point, because I always say sometimes I overfeint, but that's good because they never know when it's coming. But Islam did that in his last fight with JDM. There was points he just was feinting like 12 times before he even threw a jab. This is later in the fight as well, so I was really impressed with that.
Adding another prediction, Sean Brady envisions a dominant night for the champion, forecasting that Makhachev will finish Garry without much trouble. While giving Garry credit for his long frame and physical presence, Brady does not consider him a true single-punch KO threat, believing that once Makhachev closes the distance and grabs hold of him, the contest will rapidly spiral into a one-sided beatdown.
I don't know, because Garry is tall, he's long, but he's not like a Morales where he's like big and strong as well. Like Ian's not putting guys out with one shot. He doesn't really have that capability. So I don't think it's going to be too hard for Islam to get him down. Like, yeah, Ian's definitely long, but Ian's tall, but his reach is only 74 inches. So it's not like he has a
crazy reach. Yeah.
Where it'd be a lot harder to get past his arms. I just think it's one-way traffic for Islam. I think he's going to get him down, and I think he will sub him. And I've seen stuff. Ian's not the heaviest 170-pounder either. Like, I think he fought in California where they release your weights for the fight night. I've seen one where I think he only gained like 11 pounds.
Holding nothing back, Colby Covington launched a brutal personal attack against Garry in the lead-up to the bout, delivering sharp, controversial insults that stepped far outside typical fight breakdown territory. Despite his animosity toward Garry, Covington's actual fight prediction remains simple. He expects Makhachev to win handily, characterizing him as a martial artist who lets his elite skills in the cage talk for him.
Speaking of you being the former interim welterweight champion of the UFC, next UFC card, they have Islam Makhachev versus Ian Machado. Gary, who do you favor in that?
I favor Makhachev for sure. I think he's just going to take him down and dictate his pace and put the fight where he wants to fight. He's too strong for that little twig, that little cuck that sits in the corner and watches his wife get dogged out by the nutritionist. So, I got Islam. Islam ain't doing that cuck.
In related developments, Michael Morales confirmed he has been locked in as the official backup fighter for the UFC 330 main event, fully prepared to jump in if either Makhachev or Garry drops out. He announced via social media that if either headliner misses weight or falls ill, he will step up, otherwise waiting for his own title shot. The undefeated 19-0 contender, currently riding high off a stoppage victory over Sean Brady, earned this crucial slot as insurance for the marquee fight. While Makhachev firmly shut down rumors that UFC 330 would mark his final appearance in the cage.
It doesn't feel the same in terms of when you should stop fighting. Are you gonna it's too hard to get motivated?
It's like somebody put the fake news, I'm gonna retire it after this fight. No, it's not true, man. I want to keep going, The feeling when you stay in shape, become best fighter, is the amazing things, you're never gonna find something like this outside this sport, I want to keep fighting, and we will beat all records, and we stay here more years.
Islam Makhachev rarely looks past the challenge directly in front of him, yet he remains open to future opportunities. As he gets ready for his welterweight title defense against Ian Garry, the champion expressed interest in eventually trying his hand at boxing if the UFC grants approval. Should such a cross-sport event ever materialize, it would mark one of the biggest spectacles in combat sports, cementing a legacy that transcends MMA.
Man, we have good talks about the boxing match. In Zufa Boxing, we spoke with the Sheikh Turkey, and I don't know it's secret or not, but he say when you will be ready for boxing, just let me know and we will do some things. And
so is that something you want to do?
Yeah, why not? Box with some other fighters, why not?
Yeah, that could be interesting. I know Dana White has said they don't want the UFC fighters crossing over, but maybe you're a special exception.
Yeah, Turkey asked me a couple of times, you ready for box? I just tell him, hey, you sit with Dana, just ask him, I'm ready, anytime.
Providing another endorsement, John Jones selected Islam Makhachev to retain his belt, identifying his world-class wrestling foundation as the decisive element. Jones reasoned that once Makhachev establishes his grappling dominance and dictates the fight on the mat, Garry's striking arsenal will be largely rendered useless, highlighting how the champion routinely dominates dangerous strikers.
Yeah, Islam's going to fight against Ian Garry next, right? I assume that Islam's going to win that one just because of his wrestling pedigree. To be able to dictate if the fight's going to be standing or on the ground, it's a great gift. Another guy with a strong team behind him, strong faith. I'm not rooting for anyone in that fight because I don't know either one of those guys on the personal level, but I'm assuming that Islam's going to win. That's my prediction.
Turning to Garry's background, P.T. Carroll mapped out the Irishman's journey to this moment, tracing his origins from regional Irish circuits to his breakout in the UFC. Carroll highlighted how Garry has continually evolved his technical skill set over time, presenting his current form as the result of systematic growth rather than overnight hype, providing crucial context for the biggest night of his career.
Hey, he's changed a lot as a fighter, I think, in terms of how he fights. He was probably more of a stoppage guy in those early days, but his IQ is unbelievable. I think he has an incredible mind. I think he really zones in on how to fight different opponents and finds a way to do that. So it's going to be very interesting, given the odds stacked against him fighting the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, Islam Makhachev.
Speaking of those odds, do we have any of those odds? Does Kalshi have those, or is it too soon? Well, there you have it. Look at that. So they're saying who's going to be holding the belt by the end of this year, December 31st, 2026. 77% have it in favor of Islam, the champ.
Meanwhile, various MMA pros evaluated the welterweight division as a whole, labeling it exceptionally deep and thrilling right now. They pointed to emerging stars like Michael Morales as a key reason for this renewed energy, emphasizing that the 170-pound division is stacked with hungry contenders, rather than being dominated by a couple of names, signaling a hyper-competitive era ahead.
Was so stagnant for so long, and now it feels like it's hot. Like Islam becoming champion.
You're so
again.
right.
Michael Morales entering the picture. Ian getting a title shot. Carlos rebuilding himself post Ian Garry loss. Like, this is a fun division.
There was a time
be on his way back.
Shavkat,
Hell yeah.
Please, God willing. There was a time where I thought it was one of the most stagnant,
Analyzing the physical dynamics, MMA Guru argued that Gary's massive 6'3" frame and long reach will pose a stern test for Makhachev's takedown attempts. He emphasized that length can create severe problems for a wrestler accustomed to closing distance on shorter opponents, as Makhachev's grappling relies on getting inside for body locks and clinch control, which becomes vastly harder against Gary's reach.
Way bigger than him, way taller than him, not bigger than him, but frame-wise, that's a tougher man to hold down. Ian Garry's very athletic. Yes, Shavkat Rakhmonov got him down in the fight, but Shavkat pre-ACL tear, listen, Shavkat pre-ACL tear was quite a formidable foe, all right? And Ian Garry's only going to be learning from that. He's a young fighter as well. I don't think he's 30 yet. He might already be, but he's a very young man, like he's not reached his prime whatsoever. And that Prates performance on short notice, not to mention in the Shavkat Rakhmonov performance.
At the same time, Gary's confidence remains sky-high, prompting Chael Sonnen to analyze Gary's comparison of his upcoming bout to a historic Conor McGregor-style upset over Jose Aldo. Sonnen stated he takes the claim seriously, rather than dismissing it as trash talk, questioning whether Gary truly believes he can stun the world and instantly finish a dominant champion just like McGregor did years ago.
Ian Garry is confident he is going to be Islam Makhachev's Jose Aldo to Conor McGregor. This is a comparison that he made. Okay. I don't hate this. And maybe I should take it with a grain of salt, but I'm not. I'm taking it literal because I'm not seeing the comparison. Is Ian Garry saying I can knock Islam out quickly? I can surprise the world. I've got this unbeatable force that's been around and been a force for years, and I'm the new brash guy. But I'm gonna beat him, and I'm gonna beat him fast because I understand the sport on a higher level than you. That was part of what Conor did.
Furthermore, Sonnen questioned whether Gary is actively deploying mental mind games. Though he acknowledged the contender's legitimate physical skills, he pointed to Gary's grueling performance against Shavkat Rakhmonov as concrete proof that he can withstand high-level wrestling pressure over 5 rounds, demonstrating that regardless of psychological tactics, Gary will not simply fold against top-tier grappling.
I don't think is what Ian Garry's saying. I want it to be true. I love the idea. I believe in Ian Garry more than he believes in him. The way that Ian portrays and talks about he believes in himself, I actually believe in him that way. He's a young guy and he's using the media as a way to help to convince himself. But I actually think he's that good. I actually think Ian Garry can beat Islam. Now, I'm not predicting for you that he's going to. We'll get to that as this fight gets closer, but I'm sharing for you he can. And Ian Garry is a pain in the ass. And this whole thing that he can't wrestle, go ask Rakhmonov if that's true. Or this whole thing that you can take Ian's back and finish him. Well, go ask Rakhmonov if that's true.
Ultimately, this sets up a classic striker versus grappler showdown, where the reigning champion holds heavy favorite status behind his relentless wrestling. Yet Gary's rangy frame and movement have convinced notable analysts that an upset is possible. A victory for Makhachev further solidifies his legend, while a win for Gary completely reshapes the landscape. So leave your pick in the comments below.